Suicide Squad. Didn't you already say
The Suicide Squad.
Oh, the Suicide.
The Suicide
You did that on purpose.
Big difference. This is the next installment in the DCEU.
Is it
Loosely-
next or is it a reboot?
It's not a reboot. It's a sequel.
It's a sequel?
Mm-hmm. It's a sequel.
Okay. I thought it was a soft reboot from what James...
It's like a hard sequel.
Okay.
Like kind of how like U.S. Marshals was a sequel to The Fugitive, but not really. You know?
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah. It's like that.
It's exactly the same cast, almost.
Exactly. So, anyway, what did you think about it? Did you like it better than the other one?
Yeah.
For sure.
For the other one, it was just not a good movie. Dialogue wasn't good. Acting wasn't so good. There were only a couple things that were good about the movie. There was Harley Quinn and...
Deadshot.
Is that what his name is?
Will Smith's
Will
character?
Smith's character?
Yeah.
I don't know. But this one is Bloodshot. No.
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport.
But watching the movie, I could tell. I was like, this Bloodsport's like character was definitely made for like Deadshot, like Will Smith.
Yeah, I can see that too.
But like since like he opted out or whatever the deal was, like Idris Elba did a great job being Bloodsport, and like he kind of took the helm of the movie itself for sure, which I could totally tell Will Smith. It was meant for Will Smith.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe I'm wrong. Idris, if you're watching this, I'm very sorry. Don't hurt me. You're beautiful.
He was actually one of the best things in the movie. I have a hard time. I don't know if I like this movie.
Okay.
Like everybody in the internet says they love it. It's the best DC movie ever, and I disagree with that. I think Man of Steel is still the best out of all of them.
Yeah, by far.
I like completely different.
But there's
movie.
way better movies than this that are also in the DCU.
That is true too.
Snyder Cut's way good. I would go as far as to say Batman vs Superman is better than this.
Maybe the.
But that being said, this isn't a bad movie.
No,
I didn't hate this movie at all.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoy it. I'd probably watch it again.
If you saw.
Let's give it a rating.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I just don't know. Let's talk about things that I don't think that the movie needed to be the way it is. James Gunn is by far probably the best person to direct this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have been better. The old Suicide Squad would have been better too if he was in directing it. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me being old, and I am getting old. I didn't need the violence to be the way it was.
You are getting old then.
Yeah, I didn't need it to be.
It's so much fun.
No,
Tom.
it is fun.
That's a direct quote
So
from
much.
Quentin Tarantino.
It is, but like, does it need to be there to make it a better movie? Like, I feel like certain director throws in to rated R, throwing the rated R, label on it just because they can say the F word and all this. It just, I guess, to me, it didn't need to be that. Didn't need to be rated R to make it a good movie, in my opinion. That's one thing I was kind of like. I'm sitting there watching. Maybe it's the age in me. Like, I'm getting old.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree completely.
I know you do, and that's why I wanted to talk to you about this because I feel like it would have been fine, and the story, I like the story, the way it was going, the way it was structured, it was perfectly fine. I'm okay without being rated R, and I think it would have made more money, in my opinion, honest opinion, would have made way more money than it did being rated R. And so I just didn't need it. Not that it wasn't good. It's just for a personal reason. I just didn't need it. I thought it was fine.
So you said you don't really remember like the first one, right?
I do remember a little bit.
So
yeah.
I would say this movie needed that kind of extra gritty push to set it apart from the first one, because like you look at the first one, it's just mindless like drones that they're hitting and they explode into rocks, and like they have to go fight this supreme power. It's the exact same thing, except this time it's humans and they burst into blood and they have to start like fight a giant starfish. Like it feels like a comic book movie, just like a bloody comic book movie. And that's what it is. And I felt like it was more gritty, and that's what it needed to push and separate itself. It definitely needed to be separated from the first one.
Okay, maybe overruled. For me, I think what separates it was basically a better storyline, better acting, and better dialogue. And this does Suicide Squad over trumps the old one completely with all aspects of it. I just felt, to me, I didn't need the blow. I mean, although it's good to see what's his name getting face blown his face blown
Pete
out.
Davidson, I'm
Yeah.
always down for him to die.
And you know what's funny is like I was watching with my wife Whitney, and I was like, no one's safe in this movie.
No.
Everybody's gonna
I
die.
kind of like that they. I don't want to go into too deep of spoilers, but like
No,
a lot,
let's go.
a lot of these like Suicide Squad members, they die, and that was the biggest thing missing from Suicide Squad first one. It's, their name is the Suicide Squad. They gotta be expendable. You gotta off them somehow. So they have these like extra rando characters that you're like, I've never heard of that dude in my entire life, and then he's dead in the first 5 minutes. You're like, okay, that makes sense. I'll buy that. And like the more important characters like stay alive throughout the movie.
And I was pissed that one character died that I did not want it to die, and that was Polka Dot Man.
Oh yeah. That was
I was pissed that they killed him off. You pull this character all the way to the end. They're fighting together, and you kill him off.
But it keeps the stakes high.
But I
that's
get
what
that.
feel. That's what makes it a good movie.
And you
that
know
was
what?
the problem that
I agree.
Fast and Furious had. There were no stakes. There were no consequences.
I wish they would have killed off, and this sounds horrendous, the Rat Girl. It would have had more
Because she's a
stake.
woman?
No.
Wow. Easy.
Because if you want a stake, her character was more attachable than the Polka Dot Man and had more powerful impact if she would have sacrificed herself, in my opinion. That's why I think her death would have made, what's his name, Bloodshot, whatever his name is, like
Bloodshot.
change his character completely from seeing, because he treated her like his own daughter. If you really think about it, there's a father and daughter relationship coming between those two.
Yeah.
And it would have had him appreciate his daughter even more. I'm not a screenwriter, but I am a father, and I think that if you present his character to be this father and tell him how he tell his daughter, you shouldn't be here, I'm bad and this, but his daughter, wants to be in his life, that to me would have been a more powerful death, I think. But
I don't know. They kind of established that father-daughter relationship pretty rocky.
I get
They're
that. but-
yelling the F word
but
at each
that's-
other. It wasn't like Deadshot and his daughter like helping her with math homework. It was definitely not the same.
Completely
So
different.
I kind of disagree with that. Like,
But what my point is, if you're gonna do that route, yeah, they cussing each other up, but come back all the way around a circle. He maybe oh man, I could have been a better father, because losing the Rat Girl, I don't know her name to be honest, I'm so sorry. Maybe he make him think about his life even differently. But
Sure.
it's hard to think like all these people were killers and murderers, and with this movie, what I liked about it, it's actually made me care about these guys as a character, even though these are bad guys. If you really look into it, they're bad guys.
they are bad guys.
So-
And like a lot of things that were said, I was like constantly reminded, like, oh, they're bad guys. They're not good guys. Like a lot of what Harley Quinn said, like just her goofiness. Like she's definitely a villain. She's not by any means a good guy. So it kind of makes it detaches yourself from the characters, in my opinion. Like you said, you're more attached. You care about it, but I didn't care, so I was like,
Oh, maybe
cool, let them have it. Right.
But maybe that's why this movie was 10 times better than the old one, because it made me attached to a character that I care about that character enough to be attached to it. Compared to what Suicide Squad, the old one,
Right.
I didn't care less about those people. I didn't believe that they were family. This movie, at least, they didn't make it seem like, oh, we're family, we're stick together.
That scene with Diablo, yeah, that was pretty.
They didn't.
Too bad.
This one didn't do that. This one just made like they gotta come as a team. They gotta work together because they're prisoners, they're bad guys, and they gotta make it work. And I like that better than the old one.
Would you be interested in seeing like a David Ayer cut?
No, because it wouldn't make any difference for me. I don't think his cut would have made that movie any difference, to be honest.
I don't know. I'm interested. Like you saw Zack Snyder's vision,
Well, we already knew Zack Snyder had a different vision than Joss Whedon because
but David Ayer, like
David Ayer
you can tell that. I mean, David Ayer doesn't have a great track record,
And that's
but I
my
do
point.
love End of Watch.
Well, I love
End
that
of Watch
movie,
is
dude.
great.
But even then,
But you can totally tell there's a different movie in there. Like, just watch the very first trailer for the very first Suicide Squad,
I agree.
and you'll see like, oh, there's a different movie in here somewhere.
agree.
And then they dolled it up because Avengers came out and was like, we need it funny, no seriousness.
yeah. Anything
Do you have
else?
anything else?
Anything you don't like about this new one?
Not that I can pinpoint
Pinpoint.
off like the top of my head, but there are problems with it. Like it's a little kooky. It's a little like, really, a giant starfish, Starro. That's the villain you went with. But that's kind of cool. That's like what made it kind of different. So I don't have any problems with it, but I am gonna give it like a lower rating than I would
Oh.
something.
Did you catch all the Easter eggs that were in there?
Sure. I didn't. I don't know.
Mantis from the actress that played Mantis in Guardian was in this movie.
Oh really?
Yeah, she was in the club. She was one of the girls dancing on the stage when they first walked.
I closed my eyes during that scene. Okay. Jeez.
There was boobies. Although not the scene when they walked in. It's when they went in the backstage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, anyways.
Anyway. Do you want to give it a rating, or do you have anything else to
Yeah,
say?
no, that's it for me.
All right, that's same.
I thought the movie was fine. I'd probably give this Netflix.
Okay. I'm gonna give it Blu-ray.
So
A little high, but still low. I
It's
mean,
good.
that's kind of. It is
okay.
worth watching.
It's worth watching. It's just don't watch it with your kid.
No. Yeah, we started watching it with Rad, and we're like,
What?
Pete Davidson
What?
got his head blown off, and we're like, it's time to go to bed.
Although I don't know if his age, he probably doesn't even recognize it, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, nerds.
Later.
Later.